Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back. It's another Monday. Wait, yeah, Monday. It's another Monday, right? At 2
Monday.
p.m. Yep, Monday. That's when the
Manic Monday, perhaps.
Manic Monday. Welcome to the OfAxe&Ale podcast. I am joined with my two other co-hosts. We got Riley.
Who?
Hooray.
Right.
Bears.
And we got Smuggy. Smuggy.
Hello.
Smuggy.
Smoggy.
Yeah.
Sniffer?
Peppa? Peppa the pig? You calling people slam pigs still?
Yes.
Is that bit still going on?
No, I can't stop the bit.
Yeah. Well,
And when I
Bit is
talk
like
to Bus, I call
assumed
Bus a
and-
slam twig.
that's fitting. How's everybody's week? I've had a pretty extensive week.
Same. Largely the same. Very tiring. Kind of how it goes, though.
Yeah. What you just working?
Yeah, pretty much. Just a lot of work. A lot of having to pick up after the fucking Memorial Day weekend of everybody being off, but nobody really being, where you are and shit like that.
Yeah. 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 I've been planning a bachelor party, which has sucked the life out of me because plans have changed like a million times. Like I planned it all out and then they were like, actually we're just gonna do it at this one place. We're just gonna do it at a beach house. And I was like, oh, okay. And
Take all that work, toss a fucking match at it.
yeah,
Sucker.
yeah. And then it went from, oh, we're gonna go to this beach house to now it's only going to be guys to now it's going to be guys and girls, and now spouses aren't allowed to come because we're going to get crazy because this is the last time we'll be single. And then I'm like, I'm going to do some bad things to my brain with a weapon.
Just not having a great time.
Yeah.
I think it's just more so rich people are insane.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's not like they're renting out a place. It's like they own a beach house. And I'm like, I don't even own a house, you know? So,
Wow,
owning.
so true, bestie.
Yes, bestie. That's just because you're not in your hustle era.
Just another manic Monday.
Yeah, honestly, it's just a manic Monday. Blame it on that,
Oh my
besties.
god. Wish it was
Besties.
Sunday.
Besties, where are
A,
you?
a random person from the 80s has manifested a terrible curse upon you, known only as the Manic Mondays.
What is all this about? Huh? What is the manic Mondays about?
I don't know. It's
I
just
don't know.
Mondays are
It's
always
the
manic because you go
fucking
back to work.
yeah, pretty much.
Oh, yeah.
I don't really know or remember what the fuck the song is about. It's like an incredibly like for whatever reason a very enduring 80s like 1980s staple song or whatever the fuck. But I could not tell you for the life of me what the hell it's about. Like
Yeah. I
what is the song's deal? No clue.
No,
Sorry.
it's literally that's the deal of the song. Is Sundays are fun, but Mondays I gotta do stuff.
that is so
This is
true.
true. I do not like doing things.
Yeah.
Doing things subpar. Subpar.
Yeah, I isn't that kind of like the everybody's working for the weekend kind of vibe, except it's Manic Mondays, and it's just talking about what you have to do to get to the weekend. I don't know, maybe that's a little too.
No, because this one's like I hate Mondays, but the other one's like everybody's working towards the weekend. You know?
Yeah, a
Yeah,
little bit
yeah.
more celebratory besides just like, oh man, the office is so boring.
On Monday, I am bored. On
Oh
Monday,
my
I have to
god, they
work.
included quinoa sliders instead of going for chopped salads. Oh my god.
I'm gonna
I
be
don't
honest
actually
with
know what
you.
office culture is like.
I'm gonna be office with you. I'm gonna be honest with you. If you make music for a living and you make a song about how working Mondays suck, I don't like you as a person.
He's like, you're automatically on my shit list. I'm sorry. Get out of
Yeah.
here.
Yeah. I mean, like, you may have had a prosperous career beforehand in, like, some type of office space setting. But at the moment that you release that song, I no longer want to hear it from you. I don't know.
Oh,
Especially
you're
in,
making money off my plight.
oh, you're just laughing at poor people, huh? Huh?
Like you're like, well, you Mondays are hard. Well, I'll show you Mondays being hard when I break your legs.
Whoa, what the fuck, Riley?
Relax.
What the
Very,
fuck?
very, very untreated aggression. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
The listen, all I know about everybody hating Mondays is from my old pal Garfield.
that's true. Love lasagna, hate Mondays. Venn
Simple as.
diagram. You ever I went to DC this week.
You know, I thought it was going to be something spicy about comics because it was right after
No,
Garfield.
I didn't
You
want
ever
to.
like it was going to be something weird?
Yeah, so I've been reading a lot of what's that guy's name who does the terrible political comics?
Ben Garrison.
Why do you know that? Ben Garrison. Yeah.
Because there's a
God.
guy who I used to follow who would edit every single Ben Garrison comic as they came out to have Karl Marx with a huge penis.
Yeah, that's okay. That's valid. That's valid. You ever get well, this is off topic because I was going to talk about DC, but now I'm going to talk about something else. Uh, uh yeah, you ever never mind. What was I saying? Who are you? Where am I? Dude,
Well, here's it.
I swear, dude, I feel like I just took loony pills. I'm not here anymore. I'm
You've been
gonna,
teleported astrally somewhere else, somewhere terrible.
yeah, I ate the enchanted banana. Now I have time warping abilities. I wanted to do a little segment for the podcast, so we have a little bit more structure here. We'll evolve it into more segments as we go as well.
I hate structure.
Yeah, whatever, postmodernist piece of shit.
Yeah. You tell me.
Oh, I don't like it when things have structure. I don't like it when my art is tangible. Whatever, go piss in a urinal and put it in a museum, you Dada artist. Sorry. I actually like Dada
That was
art.
the only thing I got behind.
Yeah, I do like pissing in urinals and putting them in a museum. I don't even think he
As a
pissed
great
in it.
man once said,
No, I would
My
piss in it
favorite
if I was
part.
the artist.
my
Fuck, what was
favorite
his name?
piece of art is Piss Christ. That's a great quote from Pablo Picasso. Is it really?
It was
Is it not?
Duchamp. I don't.
Who's to say?
I butchered the name probably, but it was definitely that. Oh no, Armut.
Armut.
Yeah, he did the 1917. Yeah, it was Duchamp. What was his name? I'm saying that wrong. Duchamp.
Maybe. Look,
It's
I'm also
something.
a Philistine, so you know.
Listen, I'm American. You can't put.
That's true. It's true. We're very dumb. You can't
Yeah.
yell at me. I'm very stupid.
Hey, the fact that we're able, you know what I mean? The fact that we're able to even know who these people are is like we're working hard.
Listen, that's a miracle, right? Like the fact that we
Yeah.
came out of this one like with a pair of brain cells to rub together is it's we're working with a lot there.
I'm gonna get back to the DC thing after this, but sorry, I keep stretching it on. But I was talking to Mikey Maxie.
Yeah.
I was talking to Mikey, and Mikey said some pretty base things today, and I was like, "Whoa, that's weird. I thought you were like a weirdo, you know?" And he is, but like he's not like a
No,
weirdo.
he's just racist.
Yeah.
No, he's just
Yeah,
mildly cretinous.
Mikey is a man who grew up in Chicago, then moved to Puerto Rico, and his dad was a drug dealer in Puerto Rico, and he didn't know how to. Dude, this is like such a story, but Mikey, his dad took him to Puerto Rico after getting out of prison in Illinois or something like that, and then he paid for Spanish lessons because he could speak it but he couldn't write it with crack. Like he would pay the teachers crack to
Oh,
to teach him because he was a drug dealer. And they were actual teachers, they actually were like very good at what they were doing and whatnot. But to teach to teach Mikey Spanish. But Mikey knows a lot about art, and I think he's used to like white people not knowing anything about other countries whatsoever. So somehow it got on the topic of like revolutionaries and like, oh my god, dude, now I'm so scared I'm gonna pronounce everybody's name wrong. But I was just like, yeah, Che Guevara, and then he's like, oh, the look on his face when I said that was like, whoa, you know who that is? And then like at the same time, you know, Papa
so
was like,
you know more than just the guy on the T-shirt?
yeah, yeah, yeah. And then like I was talking about Ho Chi Minh and like his whole when he went out to France and like studied in France, about the people who were colonizing him essentially, and he studied philosophy and stuff like that, and moved back to Nam. But yeah, I don't know. I talked to, and it just seemed so weird that he was like so surprised I was like a American person who knew anything outside of America. And then I realized that I learned all of those things outside of education.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's pretty typical for pretty much anybody who has like a vaguely left-leaning kind of position on anything. It's just like, oh yeah, what's your opinion on this, that, or the other thing? And if you have like a opinion that isn't just like, oh yeah, something something bombs something something, you usually
Yeah,
get people that are like, wow, I'm so impressed. I
yeah.
thought you were a fucking bloodthirsty maniac.
Oh, I thought you were only worried about like, what Bill Clinton did.
Hamburger.
Yeah, and hamburger. Yeah.
And like the age old tweet of like how like all right, Americans, if you need to understand this political thing, imagine a hamburger.
Uh-huh.
And that's the bit.
Yeah, so Vietnam was kind of like a hamburger, right? But the hamburger, the sauce on it was made by somebody else. You know what I mean? So it's like the sauce on it, I don't know. I don't know how to discuss colonialism as a hamburger. You're awfully
Imagine if
quiet, Maxie.
colonialism was in
Listen,
fact a hamburger.
I don't know how to interact with this one.
What
Like,
do
so
you
am I supposed to be like, the meat is when you realize the indigenous people of America were calling?
Ah, you see,
like
the meat of a
yeah.
hamburger is when you understand that you know, there's several Native American genocides throughout American history, and you're like, oh wait, hang on a minute,
You know what the
because I don't
most
think I like this hamburger at all. I think this is a negative burger. If you think,
actually, you know what? I think I'll be a vegetarian. I'll just know nothing
Boo.
and live ignorant and blissfully. Man, that is like 90% of America. But speaking of like 90% of America, I went to DC.
Oh, you're finally on this thing, huh?
Yeah, 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 yeah. Because it's crazy. There
Everybody
was,
was tuned in for this, already left.
yeah, well, hey, look, you got to get there somehow. And to be able to make me stick on one topic. Is this interesting? Did you even want to hear about it?
I mean, I'm
What?
vaguely interested. It depends, like what's the.
Just
Vaguely?
fucking say it. Just fucking
What
say
the
it.
fuck?
I mean, wait,
Vaguely?
what? Come on, like what's the story here?
Okay, so I went to DC on a little day trip and I went to all the museums because they're free. And I'm broke, so I wanted to see everything I could while I was in DC. And I got hungry, so I went to a place. It's like it's like a Indian place, and then it said in Chinatown. And I said, "Okay, never been to DC before. Let me go to Chinatown. Let me go eat at an Indian place as you do when you're just hanging out in DC." And I walk like 30, 20 minutes to get to the Indian place. And I'm walking there with my girlfriend beside me. And I start to realize this is more of like there's more people out, like in general, like there's more homeless people and stuff like that on the street. It's a little bit different of a vibe than the touristy parts of DC. And this guy starts following us. And I was like, there's a guy following us and I have no idea what to do. And but I started walking and me and my girlfriend walked into the Indian place finally once we got there and he comes in. And I was like, this is weird. So maybe we just ended up in the same place. Maybe he wasn't following me. And then he walks in and he's carrying a bowl with a fish in it.
Oh.
Do I have you now? Are you more interested?
Yeah, okay, all right,
Okay.
all right. Now we're now let's
Yeah,
get
yeah,
into
yeah.
I already heard this. So.
Okay. So this dude has a fish in a bowl, like the ones you get from PetSmart. Like you just like buy it from PetSmart and it's like a little like half dead beta fish with like diseased rotten brain and you just like buy him and like, "Oh, I can't wait for this little buddy to live a couple days." Well, and he brings it in and he goes up to the counter and the guy's like the dude who's behind the counter knows this guy. And he's like, "Hey man, yeah, how you been?" And he grabs the tips and puts them behind his back cuz apparently this is a problem with this man.
Oh.
And he goes, "Well, what's up? What's up today?" And he's like, "Oh, I want somebody to buy this fish. Do you want a fish?" And he's like, "No, man, this is a restaurant." And I'm like, "Okay, fair. That's a fair response."
True.
I said,
Yes,
"True."
accurate.
I said, "That's all right." And I was like, "Man, but that's kind of weird because usually, like, bad places that I've been to in the past, if somebody comes in there doing that, the staff instantly like runs them off, you know? So maybe this guy's like no harm, no foul, like he's not doing anything bad." Okay, so this so it gets worse. It gets worse. So the guy comes over to me and I'm like sitting there eating a garlic naan pizza, like I'm enjoying life, having the best time of my life for a couple minutes. And the guy comes up to me with the fish and I'm like, "Okay, I get what's going to happen here. He's going to ask me if I want the fish. I'm going to say no, and then he's going to go off." And he goes, "Hey man, you want this fish?" And I said, "No, man, I'm from out of town. I have nowhere to put it. I don't have an aquarium. I don't even need a fish, honestly. I have two cats. I'm way too polite because I'm Southern. So I'm like actually like having like a full on conversation with a person who's like uh, stalking people trying to sell a fish. And it's okay because I get validated with how I was acting, but I wasn't being mean to him or anything. I was just kind of like, "No, no, I'm good. Please leave me alone. I don't want to be bothered. I'm eating a pizza, please." And then
You went into an Indian restaurant to get a pizza?
it's a garlic naan pizza.
Yeah,
I
man, that does actually sound unironically really good.
Okay, I was just confused. I'm
I
sorry.
also didn't order. Oh, that's a whole other thing. I didn't order it. I didn't order a garlic naan pizza. I ordered a garlic naan wrap. I wanted garlic naan and a wrap because I was like, I don't want anything heavy right now. But then I guess they saw that I was like the only white guy in there, so they're like, white guys love pizza, and
White guys love hockey. Come on.
yeah, they love hockey, they love pizza, and they love yelling at games. And that's and they got me like this pizza, and they got me and my girlfriend a pizza, and I'm like, we both ordered a wrap, and we like pointed to it, and we were like, "No, a wrap. We just want a wrap." And they spoke perfect English. It's not like they were like, you know. But then they gave us a pizza, and we were both like, "I mean, okay, we'll take it. Whatever. You're right. I do love pizza. You got me." I
They're
am.
like, fuck, you
I
ripped my
was
ass.
successfully stereotyped
Yeah.
again.
Yeah, and I was so
You be there.
so then like I said, I get the pizza and I go and I sit down and I start eating and I see the guy eye me and I don't the rule of thumb is don't make eye contact while you're walking through like a busy city or whatever, right? Like you don't make eye contact with people who are like perceived as like maybe unhealthy, like drugged out a little bit. You just don't want to start a commotion, especially if you're not willing to help in some way. Like you don't want to like, you know. I mean, of course, you can always go out and talk to people. I wouldn't recommend doing that if you have somebody with you who you're like, I don't know if somebody pulls, something out on me, if I'm going to be able to, defend both of us. So that's where I kind of
Better to
was.
get people to know people like a bit slower if you're gonna do that kind of like,
Yeah.
community intervention sort of thing, and not be a weird person about it. Like it's far easier to kind of like know what you're dealing with if by just kind of doing it naturally and getting to know people than just like
Yeah.
doing whatever.
And by far, I think most people are generally harmless who are, on the street homeless. Um, but at the same time, this dude just followed me for like 2 blocks into an Indian restaurant and tried to sell a fish to the cashier. Something obviously is not right. He's also like sweating out of his mind, and it was
What kind
cold.
of fish was it?
It was like I said, like a little beta fish. It was blue. It looked
Yeah.
cool. It looked cool, but it was I definitely the fish was
Not in the
definitely
market for a fish.
yeah, the fish was definitely uncomfortable with what was happening. I can assure you that. He was getting shaken around a bit.
Not like ideal fish conditions, just like randomly in a random kind of bowl instead of just like, you know, fish don't like getting shaken up. It's not really a thing,
Uh,
especially not beta fish, which is like, oh yeah, still lakes,
yeah.
not
And
not a roller coaster or whatever the fuck.
Well, they're not in the water, so you have to act like it's the Earth. So you got to spin it kind of fast, like
Yeah, you gotta hit him with the tornado attack,
you got to put him on the
Oh my god! It
vinyl.
reminds me of the thing, like that one, a story where like the guy was gonna kill his goldfish because it was dying of some disease he couldn't cure, and his girlfriend wanted him to kill it, so he just fucking picks it up and slams it and
What the
splatters it everywhere.
fuck? That's insane.
Like the whole thing was like he read like hitting it would give it the shock needed to like for the least pain, but he did it so hard it splattered.
That is honestly quite insane. Holy
Jesus
shit.
Christ. You can karate chop a squid and it'll die.
I can believe that. It doesn't have any bones. It's
Yeah.
just kind of like a sack of jelly in there.
Yeah, you like
It's like you're
karate chop
karate
it.
chopping like a really big custard filled with cream, but the cream is gross fish guts.
Ugh.
I don't think I could ever kill anything. But okay, back to the story. Back to the story. Okay. So, the guy hands me this, well, he tries to hand me the fish and I go, "Dude, I don't want it." And he goes, "Are you sure?" And I was like, "Oh my God, okay, he's going to be pushy about this." And I said, "Yeah, I'm sure. I don't need it. Thank you though. I mean, I appreciate the offer of having a fish. And you obviously work so hard to follow me like 2 blocks. You obviously are a good salesman. You want to finish the pitch."
Yeah, I was like, listen, always be closing ABC, baby.
Yeah, like you are on the floor right now. Um, and then this, and then it like clicked. I was like, I said that, and then he went, "Oh well, I'm so sorry for bothering you. I really didn't mean to like scare you or come off weird or anything. I just, I have this fish and I just didn't know what to do with it. And all right, well, thank you for your time." And he walks away, and I was like, "What the fuck?" Like this guy, I was like prepared for him to be like a deranged dude, just like following me, trying to sell me a fish, kind
It's
of like
like,
the
oh wow, I seem to have yes, I've misread the situation. I
what,
better apologize to this guy.
and then walks 10 feet away, sees a girl sitting alone, starts sexually harassing her. I shit you not, literally
Oh
like
my God.
yeah, dude, like 10 seconds, like
Jesus Christ.
it was the most wild ride. It went from I'm going to get murdered by somebody trying to sell me a fish because they just followed me for 2 blocks into a random restaurant, and then it just went into like, oh my God, this guy's like just a normal guy. He's just down on his luck. He stole a fish from a store. He's going out to try to sell it. He's trying to make money somehow. Maybe this is his type of deal. I really judged a person wrong, like on a first initial, like, and I was like, wow, that's weird. I can't believe that was so lovely of an interaction after that. And then he walks away and he's just like, "Hey, you want this fish, bitch?" And I'm like, Jesus. And I'm like, what the fuck, dude? I was like, and then she like walks over from the front of the restaurant over to me and my girlfriend because like, I mean, everybody else just seemed like, oh, normal day. This is the same dude again. I'm like, what the fuck, dude? It was such a wild ride and
I
like
mean that's just like kind of like the emotional pendulum you're getting hit with right here. Just like, oh fuck.
yeah, and like the dude, like okay. So in all honesty, too, like the entire DC trip was great. It was just like that one part when I turned into Chinatown. It went from like me like walking around like a tourist destination to like, oh, people live here, and this is like they're not used to tourists as much now. Like I'm in an area where it's like if I walk in here, I'm like an outsider, you know? And then like I walked from uh like a one more block over and then you're back to like tourism. And I'm like this is so strange. And it's weird cuz it's also like one block away from the capital. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's kind of like that you know the images of like well, what is it? I think it's of Brazil or something like that. Like the comic of Brazil, where it's like, oh, the rich people, and then it's like a gated community and all the nice things, and then it's like the outside. That's eerily what it felt like, and I was like I didn't know what to do in that situation other than just be like, okay, please get away from the woman. Okay, bye, see ya. Like, and that was it. Like nobody else did anything or interacted in any way. They just all watched. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean like that's kind of like the weird part about like when you're dealing with like people that with like kind of like having like those sort of chain crises or whatever that you kind of run into sometimes. It's like sometimes it's just like, oh yeah, this is just sort of a thing that happens every time. That's just the guy who's just there. That's the guy, you know, he's the fish guy. Sometimes he's got a fish.
Hey,
Yeah.
Sometimes
that's the
it's like
fish misogynist.
Yeah.
that's the fish misogynist, you know? Like, hey, listen, it's the fish racist. You know, sometimes he's
Yeah.
like
It's the dude who
shows up and he's
sexually
really
harasses
racist.
women with a fish in his hands. Like I it made me realize that I've grown up in a weird area of like town and whatnot, but like I didn't grow up in a major city type of vibe, you know?
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of just like a weird culture shock moment whenever you get into like a big area or whatever. I went to Boston with a friend like ages ago, and we had kind of done like a similar thing where we had went to Boston's Chinatown and kind of walked into like a Chinese restaurant that it was like supposedly known for seafood, and we sit down and everything else, and like it's sort of just like you know when you the disparity between like everybody inside of the restaurant who is clearly known by the people in the restaurant
Yeah.
and then the two weird random people who have decided to show up to the restaurant at 9 p.m. that are definitely not from around here.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then they handed both of us forks.
Wow.
No chopsticks, just forks.
Wow.
And I'm like, I see.
That's fucked up.
Well, I mean, I get it.
I
You
mean,
don't know who the
yeah.
fuck these assholes are.
Yeah.
Are they tourists? Well, then
They
you hand him a fork. You don't know who they like. You don't know if
they
they're gonna
thought
ask.
they thought you were gonna be like,
It's 9
hey,
p.m. You're about to close in like 2 hours or something. Do you want to deal with tourists at 9 p.m.?
they thought you were
I
gonna be
don't
like, can I have a burger, please?
know. Do you have an arugula salad, my good sir?
You got any kale? Kombucha?
Fuck.
Dude, I had a kombucha yesterday because my tummy's been messed up. Oh my god.
I was telling someone, I was telling Dad that for Grandma, she
Uh-huh.
can't drink vinegar because like that's something that helps her out or whatever.
Yeah.
But like, just get kombucha. It's the
Yeah.
same thing. Tastes fruity.
Yeah, you can even get like I got a ginger one. It just tasted like I was drinking straight up ginger. No lie.
Get one that tastes kind of like alcohol.
Yeah, that's
Or
true.
get one that is alcohol.
Yeah, that was yeah.
That's the other half of it. Yeah.
I don't know.
Good.
My take on DC, love the people there, love the community. Everybody who wasn't following me like the fish guy was completely normal.
Everybody who wasn't sus was
Non-fish
kind of
guy?
cool.
Every non-fish guy there, beautiful,
Yeah,
wonderful,
yeah,
great.
literally.
Hey, fish lips.
Li-
Hey, yo, bitch, you in the market for a fish?
Dude, I and then on top of that too, like, oh, there was one guy there. I said it was me and my girlfriend were the only people who were like white there, like, but we weren't. There was one guy who I know lived there for a fact because he was eating like 3 plates of food, ordered 3 plates of food. He's watching anime on his laptop
Oh, king.
in the open. He had to be 48 years old, you know, at least. And I was like, this dude is who I want to be in life. Like legitimate. Just like, oh my god, what a king. I couldn't I didn't even know what to I'm just like, what is this guy doing? It was amazing. But that was my trip. The other highlights were, you know, all the tourist attractions, but those are less exciting, I feel like. I don't know. What and then I haven't been on the internet for like a couple days, and then I come back to like Elon Musk like impersonating AOC, who I was hoping I'd like, you know.
Was that him?
Yes, that's
What
definitely
the
him.
fuck?
it. I mean, it's either him or somebody that he knows, and it's like that's a big circle nowadays. Like, it's so weird. Like, that's like the kind of thing that like you would do if you're like, how would I put this? That's the kind of thing that you do if you're like a really cheap, like Greg Gutfield kind of guy. Like your entire gimmick is just the whole, trigger the libs kind of shit. And no, this is like a fucking CEO who's like palling around with his friends being like, "Oh yeah, by the way, I'm going to pretend to be AOC in the most cheap and dumb way possible and
Bro,
make the stupidest jokes imaginable."
bro, he literally tweeted off of her account, "I have a crush on Elon Musk." If you tell me that that's not Elon Musk and that
It's
is like
it's him. It's him. He immediately responded to that too, and
yeah.
I'm like, dog. It's so like they're all like,
He
it's
he
so
he
weird that
he
he's
he he.
fantasizing around her in particular. I know it's like always
Yeah.
just like, I'm AOC. I'm a dumb broad, and I love boys, and that's the only joke they have. Like
Yeah. And
they got
also,
over the like she's a Mexican illegal or whatever because they can't say that because she's like a natural born citizen and
yeah.
she literally grew up here. She's an American, blah blah blah. That's a bit too racist, a bit faux pas to be that racist. So they got to be like a high school insult. Like this is like what are you gonna do next? Like drop bugs in her hair or whatever the fuck? Like what's the game here?
I
How childish can you be?
I will say it is very telling of the right to like every time AOC comes up talk about how like hot she is and shit. And I'm like, that's so gross. Like you're just sexualizing her like every single time she's brought up, like in any way. And I'm like, you people, I would never leave you in a room with any woman I care about. Like,
Actually, we're more trustworthy than anyone else. Are you? Yeah,
says,
big part. I don't
sa-
know, man.
hey man, you ever felt
Survey
comfortable?
says a bit different.
You ever felt comfortable around a youth pastor? I don't think so.
One
I
time,
had
but it's like so. When I was in college with Riley, there was like a Christian group that like was nice to me, so I went to their event one time. You know, like
Oh,
they were like okay people. So I was like,
yeah.
fuck it, I'll go and get free food from them. Who cares? Um, they're let me tell you, you're so right when you can't trust a motherfucker who's too nice.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
I'm sitting
Mm-hmm.
there listening to them, they're not saying a single bad thing. They're all like being nice and like positive and respectful. I'm like, this is just not my vibe. I feel uncomfortable around you guys.
Yeah.
And like, am I a demon? I don't fucking know, but I don't want to know what you are. I don't
Yeah.
want to know what fucking disgusting thing you got going on in your head, Mr. Nice Guy.
You're like, is this frailty and you're about to murder me with a hammer?
Yeah, am I about to get like my fucking knees stoved in by like Jodie Foster? I don't actually know who that actress was. I just kind of said Jodie Foster because it was the first actress I could think
Who
of.
the fuck is Jodie Foster? Was she in The
She was
Shining?
in Taxi Driver.
Was she in uh
Silence of the Lambs.
oh, that was her in Silence of the Lambs?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, she's Clarice.
Can you see them, Clarice? Can you still hear the horses?
Hello, Clarice.
Exactly.
I don't know. Yeah. Wow, she's so famous. What the hell? She's in like every movie ever. Okay, I'm done looking at this. Sorry. I just had to look up who Jodie Foster was. I don't know. I think it's super weird that like 90% of America, I feel like, okay, 90% of the vocal people in America are just like the most deranged weirdos. And I know we've already talked about this, and like most of them are probably bots, but every day my faith fades. Every day I stray further and further away from God's light.
Gehenna
That's
eludes
so
me
annoying.
for one more day each time.
Yeah. And the other thing about Elon. Oh, go
Oh,
ahead.
yeah,
Go ahead.
go.
No,
You go
no, no,
first.
you go ahead.
No, I can't
No, no,
statement. Just
no,
go.
I insist.
Go,
I
shut up.
insist. No, you go first. No, 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 you go first.
You're so annoying. You can't trust a motherfucker who's being annoying.
Dude, whoever said that, genius. Honestly.
Prodigy.
Oh, I wanted to talk about this. I forgot about this. This is completely off topic. I'm so sorry, Maxie. I'm so sorry.
Just finish your.
Here you go. Here's my.
Please, just finish your thought.
Okay, I was gonna say, you guys remember when Elon Musk did that chess shit? Where he was like, chess is too simple for me.
Yes. Yeah, I posted that.
Yeah.
Oh,
Someone in another server in the memes chat or whatever, like, but they were being serious, was like, chess is so boring. I'm like, I'm sorry, the game that stood the test of time for hundreds of years, it doesn't have LED lights for you.
arguably thousands.
Like,
I'm sitting there and he's like, it's so fucking boring. I'm like, dog, you can. The shit's like
How the
League of Legends, but a board game.
How the
I
fuck-
know you play that shit.
how the fuck are you saying chess is boring? I could see maybe like it's boring to watch if you don't know anything about chess, but like to say it's boring or like that it's like too simple, you're literally the dumbest person on earth. I don't know. You're like a top contender.
You need supercomputers to play the game.
Yeah, like you literally cannot play chess at the maximum level. Like no human can
Oh
play
my
chess.
god. I was talking to somebody the other day. This is off of this. And they were saying Minesweeper sucks because because it's unsolvable. And I'm like,
What?
dog, do you know
I mean,
how
it's a
many games are
deduction game.
unsolvable?
I mean, like, yeah, that doesn't really mean anything. Also, it's not really like you solve things. Like, it doesn't like have a meta or whatever.
It's a logic puzzle.
Yeah, it's like a deduction game.
And he was sitting there like, oh, so it's just counting. I'm like, do I have to understand the intricacies of a logic puzzle to you, like in a base form, to where you don't say this stupid shit to
Probably.
me ever
Like,
again?
probably.
And I'm just sitting. I just drop it because he's the dumbest fuck. Like, they have 2 tags on that server. Like, there's like 3 people with this tag, and it's called idiot. The tag is called the idiot tag.
Oh, something awful special. Let's go.
Oh man.
And so when they post, their name is Gray, and they're you click on them and you see the tag is idiot. And it's just like, oh, okay, I get it. This was in here before I was like, I didn't even see you get it. So other people think you're dumb before me.
Also, like, back on the chess thing, like, chess is so complicated that in order to, like, quote unquote, play at the highest level, you have to, like, make moves that literally make no sense at all to normal chess masters. Like, that's how,
Yeah.
like, chess masters can read bots online in blind tests, because it's like, oh, a normal human being would not make that trade, but since it's a computer and it can see 30 or 60 moves ahead, it makes this incredibly fucking stupid trade where it like double hangs 2 or 3, like double or triple hangs 2 or 3 valuable pieces to set up the perfect checkmate trap in like 6
Yeah.
moves or some stupid crap like that.
Yeah.
But and it's so weird.
I do have a gripe about Minesweeper. Can I bring it up?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
It's called Minesweeper, but you don't hit the mines.
Yeah, you don't
Yeah, you
just
do.
like
You find them. You're sweeping for the mines. You don't click them.
Y-
Why
You're
would you
so
ever touch a mine?
you're
You idiot?
supposed to get all the mines,
Yeah, you're
like
supposed to
Mario
flag all the mines.
You're supposed to just
64.
run dick first into the mines.
That
You're
was
supposed to
almost.
reenact that scene from Rambo 2011 or whatever, where they make all the tourists
Yeah,
run
I'm
through the
gonna belly
minefield.
flop on the mine to figure out where it is.
I was gonna say that's actually Riley. You were so close to an LP lyric right there. Like
Just
run, yeah,
yeah, run dick first into a set of mines.
yeah. That's definitely an LP lyric.
Something about Scooby Doo or something like that. I don't know. What is that? Is that something? I don't fucking know.
Yeah, yeah, I could see Run the Jewels doing that. I look, and aside from like Elon Musk doing that and like being a weirdo, I was gonna go on to something else. Oh, this is like okay, maybe this should be a segment. Celebrity okay, I don't know, how should we say this? Let me think.
Celebrities?
Certainly
Celebrity.
not celebrities, you know.
Okay, celebrities that you didn't know were terrible are the worst person you've ever seen on a screen. Uh
Nah, I don't.
I don't
I
know.
think it's just obvious.
What about
Well, I mean,
what about problem children are coming from another what do you think's a
God damn it, not this again.
what do you think's a better title? I don't know.
Literally anything.
I mean I know I know that like celebrities, most celebrities you see are terrible people because you know they work in an industry that like rewards you for being a terrible person the majority of the time. Uh, but yeah, just thinking back on it, uh, what's his name? Oh my gosh, dude, I'm losing it. Hold on, I actually
Chris
have
Pratt.
no close. No, I'm kidding. It's
I mean,
not close at all.
there's a
Jim
lot of
Carrey.
fucking
Jim
Jim Carrey.
Carrey.
Oh yeah.
Did you know?
Oh.
Did you? Yeah, yeah,
Oh.
yeah. I'm ruining
He's
it.
an anti-vaxxer.
Well, besides him being an anti-vaxxer, he also, this is crazy. He had like 3 STDs that he knew and tested positive for, and he slept with his girlfriend, and then she ended up killing herself because of it. And he got charged with,
Oh.
or he got a court case. I don't know if he got
Jesus
charged
Fucking
with,
Christ.
with what's it called? When you like murder somebody but you didn't do it on purpose?
Manslaughter.
Involuntary manslaughter. Yep.
Or manslaughter. Yeah, Jesus Christ. Holy fuck.
Isn't that crazy? Like,
That's the fucking worst shit I've ever heard in my
yeah,
life.
doesn't that make you feel
Fuck's
crazy?
sake.
Yeah.
That's what I think of when I think of setting sexual.
You think he's doing
Okay,
that?
but like
You
that's
think they're
not
doing
like that's
that?
way fucking that's not involuntary manslaughter. That's just like you can have an STD and have a like
No,
a
I get it. I
successful
just
life.
think of that every time because I don't.
I
trust
I
us.
wouldn't, man. That's fucked up. Jesus
I'm
Christ.
so sorry. It just comes to my. You know, how,
Look,
like
I
those
think Jim
bad
Carrey's a
thoughts?
bigger scumbag than like
Yeah,
most
no, I
people
get
give him
it.
credit for sure.
And
Like,
I'm just saying, you know, like those intrusive thoughts that you get sometimes. Like that's one of them for me. Whenever Bus talks about wanting a boyfriend,
oh god,
I mean,
that's so fucked up. Why?
it's one thing to
because I'm a
like.
bad person.
It's
Okay, yeah, that's true. You are.
true. It's
True.
I think also too like the scenario, it's one thing to like disclose the information that you have as an STD with your partner or some random person you're hooking up with that you have an STD and to wear protection and to give them the benefit of the doubt that you know they can wear protection, but Jim Carrey literally knew he had an STD. Like he knew he had 3 different STDs and then he gave his significant other at the time a like 3 STDs in a row, and then like later, I don't know what happened after that. Like if he broke up with her.
STDs in a row is all too much.
Yeah, one of them is enough to you know do what she did, but like
Yeah, just that's not one of them. It's just like, oh yeah, you know, that's kind of life ruining if you're not like a if you are not notable celebrity Jim Carrey, let's say.
Yeah, and you know what that admits to is like you know that admits to you being
You
openly
psychopath?
well openly being what's the like good word for it, like promiscuous,
I mean,
adultery. It makes you like obvious that you had sex with people.
Yeah, that's true. That is
that's
Yeah,
true. That's
obviously you're a
usually the case,
cheater.
honestly.
yeah. Like, yeah,
He will
promiscuous
not.
would be.
He will not respect you in a relationship.
Yeah, that's crazy though. That's crazy that that happened. Can you believe Mr. Jim Carrey, the dude who I watch be the Grinch every single year?
The
You know,
Mask Man,
the man who,
Mister The Mask.
the man who I
All
watched.
right, but look at him. He looks like a guy that's.
Yeah, he looks like
Yeah,
he's gonna fucking do something terrible. Like
when he started
I
painting and
can't believe
was,
Mr. Bruce Almighty.
when he said "somebody stop me," I didn't think that's what he meant. Because
oh
I
that's
god,
can't
part of.
believe Ace
oh god,
Ventura, Pet Detectives, giving people bugs.
yeah. I can't believe.
I can't believe Dr. Eggman is putting his eggs in
Oh,
Oh, that's
God
so
damn it!
true.
No,
I
no.
think, I think he did
his
apologize.
Robotnik army.
I think he did. I think he did apologize for the jokes he made
I
in Pet Detective or whatever the hell his Ace Ventura
Yeah,
movie.
yeah.
I think he apologized and said he wouldn't make them today, if I remember correctly, like about trans
I mean, a
people
lot
and
of people
whatnot.
say that though. That's easy to say, like in hindsight, where you're like, "Oh wow, that aged the most poorly that has ever existed." Holy
Yeah.
shit!
Also, to be fair, nobody's going to like. I mean, nobody's going to be like, "Oh, this dude in the '80s said transphobic stuff." Like, I know like 5 people on Twitter will, you know what I mean? But most people don't really give a shit that. I mean, like literally from 2012 to like 2018,
yeah,
like
well, the
the.
people who do that too are like the first motherfuckers that you could like scroll through their past history and they've said the N word like 20 times.
Oh, that is so true. I'm not lying. That is so, and they have an
Or
anime
they've done
profile
something
pic.
like wild. There's like this one group of people that like everybody that I know fucking hates. They're just like anytime you like you could just basically it's like a fucking broken clock basically every single time you look at their history it's like oh yeah something 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 and then like it'll be like something wildly against Chinese people for some reason. It was every time it's like oh
Or
is
Russians.
it
It's
they're
literally one of those two every time.
for them it was always Chinese people that it was just like I'm gonna harass a Chinese person today. It's like oh wow, okay, that's your hobby, huh?
Yeah. I mean,
That's just your thing, I guess. Wow, holy
I'm all for holding people accountable to their past actions, by the way. I'm not like saying nobody cares about Jim Carrey doing that. I'm just saying it's not relevant. Like it's not relevant now. Nobody's watching Ace Ventura and being like, "Well, that's kind of transphobic," because nobody's watching Ace Ventura. I mean, I
Well,
I
I'd
don't.
give Ace Ventura a little rewatcherino.
I mean,
It's a little bit, but no, yeah, yeah.
yeah.
I get you. I get you.
I don't know. I found that out and I was like, damn, Jim Carrey was like, he was up there. And his anti-vax shit was like, okay, you're a weirdo. Never mind. But then like this is like, oh, you're like, I see why you stopped acting. You know?
No, no.
Yeah, like you like
The
just
reason for your retirement is quite clear,
yeah.
transparent, even.
But aside from that, is there anything y'all want to talk about? I've been leading this episode too much. I'm so sorry. Am I talking too much?
Yes, got your ass.
Damn, yeah.
I don't know.
Absolutely dragged the shit out of you.
Well, well, the thing is, most of the time, I just can't find anything to bounce off for it, so it's not like a big deal.
Bitch, just talk.
So you know that speaking of Twitter shit,
Nice.
did you see that one
Smooth.
guy that was like a tech bro and proving that every single tech industry guy cannot understand human interactions no matter how they're presented to him?
Are we
Like
talking about Elon Musk again? Or
Oh
just
no, we're not talking about
different
Elon
guy?
Musk. We're talking about somebody who would like Elon Musk though.
Oh boy, that's
Hold on, I
a
put it in the
really
chat.
long
Let
title.
me get it up again. Oh, it's the guy that went. The majority of human beings cannot comprehend a statement that is conditional as a key part of its meaning. If you, it's in the chat. So you go there, click it. He has like a 20 plus thread on it, where he's like, when a person who encounters such a statement, they can't go error, they just collapse it down from if P then Q to either P or Q. Here's an example. If I were going to Paris, where would be the best place to get a baguette? Oh, you're going to Paris? No, I'm just saying, where's the best place in Paris to get a baguette? And then the other person's like, oh, yeah, sure, you want to go to Paris, etc. And he literally cannot understand that people don't fucking know the question, for one. Like, if he was doing that, like, they wouldn't know what the fuck to answer anyway, because they don't live in Paris.
I
Or
mean,
they'd have to like look it up. Like they're just thinking like, oh wow, why do you want to know? Like, because again,
exactly. Like a
oh,
human
why are you
being.
asking about Paris? Are you going to Paris? Like thinking, oh wow, this is a great. Like I don't know what this guy is talking about. I don't want to just say, oh, I don't know anything about Paris. Sorry, get fucked, you stupid idiot. Why the fuck would I know about Paris?
yeah.
You don't want to say that to somebody. You got to be like, oh, are you going to Paris? Oh, that's cool. Blah blah blah. You thinking obviously, rightfully, oh well, this is a conversation starter that my man is teed up for me.
Yeah.
Hooray, human interaction. And no, I guess it's not how people that work in tech think about people.
I mean, even okay. So like the whole idea that people in tech think one way and then people who like talk like normal people are like a different, like there's a Venn diagram of people in tech and then people in normal industries is like the most insane shit you could ever think of, because the tech industry is so easy to fucking jump into. Like you can literally, like, dudes who don't finish high school go into the tech industry. I don't know.
It's just so weird to me that these people like get a coding job or something, and then they think that they're like smarter than the rest of the world because they can do like if and then statements.
I see life in ones and zeros. I only read binary.
I don't know.
Sorry, but my gamer powers allow me to code my way into this. I'm hacking into the mainframe of life.
I unironically know that somebody's posted like that. And then they've posted like CSS script or something like that.
Now everybody that I'm seeing is like, this is a stupid example. But like when I saw it the other day, you had so many fucking losers come out of the woodwork, be like, yeah, I see it all the time too. Oh my god, people, we're on it. They're just NPCs. I'm just sitting there
They're
like,
just NPCs
Jesus
in our
Christ.
beautiful life.
Like,
I've
maybe if you
I've got a
can't
deep
understand
life.
why
Why
somebody like is asking something to you,
Yeah.
you might be the odd one out.
Yeah, like that's my thing too. Is like, why would you ask a random person that doesn't know you've been to, that you don't know if they've been to France or not, where the best place to get a baguette is? Like, even in that example, you're still like the asshole for implying, oh, everybody's been to Paris. Like in a normal situation, if somebody implies I've been to Paris and then I also eat baguettes, you're implying
like,
you're just talking to Chat GTP at that point.
It's like they want you to not engage with them as a person at all because they can't understand doing that. Because it's just like, yeah, like you can assume somebody's going to Paris, and like what Riley said, not everybody's been to Paris. They're not gonna, like, you want somebody to just shut down the conversation that they want to have with you.
Oh, here we go. Ready? We're gonna run through it. Maxie, ask me where the best place to eat is in Paris.
Hey Chase, where do you think the best place to get escargot in Paris is?
I only think in binary.
it's like, oh, cool. Yeah, man, that's yeah, for sure. Yeah,
Like,
just walk away.
I don't. What also too? Okay, ask me the best place in Paris one more time. I'm gonna do a different example. Here's how he wants me to interact. Ready?
Chase, who do you think was in Paris?
God damn it,
The gentleman,
Kanye West.
the
Yeah, you know.
Mr. West and Jay Z. Did you just try to who's in Paris me on a podcast? Oh, damn loud.
People are always asking the Hulkster, who's in Paris? And the Hulkster can't answer because of cancel culture, brother.
The Hulk really wants to answer, brother.
Well, why can't the Hulkster sing along with his favorite Bobby Shmurda song, huh?
I love it when a white. I love it.
Hulk is listening to his favorite VTuber rap along to his favorite song. Why can't he say it alongside of them?
I love it when people who white people who obviously say the N-word ask why they can't say the N-word. That's my favorite. That's my favorite. This is my favorite type of person. The 30-year-old with the Cookie Monster snapback.
The 30-year-old
God
with
damn it,
blue
yeah.
hair, a big blue jacket, and no fashion
He's
sense,
got
and
the
like
he's got the
cheated on his girlfriend
SpongeBob.
twice, and has a kid who's an estranged son. Basically, oh shit, I'm talking about somebody, aren't
Oh, you mean Terry? You mean Terry, the person that we've worked
I?
with and know
No, no,
personally? Who are we talking
no,
about?
no. I'm talking about Destiny.
Oh, yeah, that
Oh
one too.
God damn it. I was about to say like, oh yeah, he's hanging out, he's doing pretty good. He's about to release his SoundCloud album anytime. He's gonna be huge, bro. He's just gotta get on No Jumper and then he's in.
Yeah, he just needs to hang out with a open pedophile Adam 22 or whatever his name is,
He's
and
gotta hang out with Richard Spencer's best friend, Adam 22.
yeah, gotta hang out with the dude who invites gang members on so they can get singled out and shot in the street.
He wants, yeah, the guy who like basically gets people to fucking get Recode charged for fun.
Yeah,
That's the guy who you need to trust with your musical career.
yeah. I'm gonna be honest with you. I used to watch No Jumper podcast because they had a lot of influential rappers that came on. And then after all of like the Chicago stuff and like the gang wars and stuff and all that, like I'm like, I don't know if I can even like stomach this in general. And then it came out that when he was like 29 or something, he was like dating a 16-year-old.
The classic.
Uh,
Truly the classic.
I don't know. He was like, I don't even know how old he is now,
It's
but
like poetry, it rhymes.
yeah, it's almost like you can predict it. It's almost like dudes who are like a dumpster fire that you can't look away from probably aren't the best people on earth. I don't know. Oh, what were you saying about the Hulk smash?
I was making a Hulk Hogan saying the N-word joke because he is a horrible human being.
Is Hulk Hogan actually a terrible person?
Yeah, he's really fucking shitty. He literally snitched on a bunch of wrestlers who were trying to unionize in the 80s and got like a huge wrestlers union busted up.
You're telling me the Hulk is a rat? You telling me the Hulk could
Yeah,
have been
Hulk
in
Hogan's a
Squeak
huge
Squad?
fucking rat. Yeah, yeah.
What the fuck?
He's a huge rat. Like he fucking basically like there's a whole bunch of like Latino wrestlers in WCW that he shut out of the business because he called them well, his favorite thing was a slur for little people,
Oh
is
no.
what he called everybody else. Yeah, vanilla, and then insert the slur. You know what it is. Uh, love saying that. That was his favorite phrase for people that he didn't like, or for Latino wrestlers. Mostly Latino wrestlers. There's a pattern there that really nobody likes acknowledging, but
Yeah.
if you read between the lines, you're like, ah, yeah, there you go. I understand. He also tried to get Booker T to give him the N-word pass.
Uh oh, so the whole why can't I say it, brother, is
Yeah,
actually real?
that's kind of a real thing.
What the
Yeah.
fuck?
He's such a fucking awful dude. That is the most infuriatingly fucked up guy.
Jesus
Like,
Christ.
the wrestling industry is terrible.
I'm gonna say
Fun,
it.
but mostly terrible. You
I'm
know.
gonna say it. I'm glad I didn't get into wrestling as a kid. Everybody I knew who grew up in the wrestling is now a devout Christian.
Yeah, I that is kind of a pattern that like holds very, very strongly, like in a really fucked up way. There is a like there's this huge thing where I know like a lot of people were into this guy named AJ Styles who was like who seemed like a really cool wrestler for like a really long time. And then he
Uh
went on Steven Crowder's podcast
huh.
for
Jump
like no
scare.
reason, and everyone was like, "What the fuck is this asshole doing?"
I,
It was really saddening.
I should I tell should I tell a story? Have I told too many stories this podcast?
No, no, go ahead. Your stories are fun. I like.
Oh God! So I grew up with this guy named Kenny,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and he for sure does not listen to this podcast. He would never in a million years know how to use the internet. Um, but I grew up with him, and he was my really good friend when we first started growing up. And I went over to his house, and he lived out on like a farm in the middle of nowhere, right? And
Mm-hmm.
like I'm hanging out with this guy, and he puts on wrestling, and he would just like throw shit around, like break shit in his house, like, jump from the top of his thing and elbow me in the face, just like the craziest shit. I was like,
Yeah, yeah.
I was like, what are you doing, dude? And I'm just chilling. And like, but I can hang, I can hang with anyone. So I'm hanging with this dude, and we get older, and like, he's talking about it. Like almost like we were like in a club together. He's like, nah, we used to watch wrestling together. I don't know, man. Chase changed, dude. He changed. He's
Oh God.
and all I've said is like, I don't like it when people are like racist. I don't like it when people are like bigots and like don't like gay people, because that was a big thing at my school for a while. He's like, nah,
Mm-hmm.
man, Chase changed. And he kept saying things like that all the time. So now I instinctively relate like wrestling. My entire life has been like this, by the way. I relate wrestling to like that type of person that's like middle of the nowhere, like lives on a farm,
I
drinks.
agree.
You agree? Yeah, okay, okay. And they're like, I'm not being mean to wrestling fans, because I know it's not all of you. I know there's normal people
Well,
that
there's
like
also
wrestling,
like, because
but
I had that happen to me in high school once. I was in school or whatever, and somebody was like making fun of gay people. I'm like, I don't think we need to do that because they're gay. Like, what does it fucking
yeah,
matter to you? And he's like, what, are you gay? And I'm like, no. What do
Y-
you mean? Shut up. I'm
yeah,
just
like,
not an asshole.
yeah, you don't have to be
Like
gay.
that kind of person just
Yeah.
resonates to me with somebody who like does that shit for some reason.
Example number two of dude who watches wrestling. It was this guy I worked with, and he was the worst person on earth. So much so that every person that knew this person, like outside of work, that I met, was like, this is the worst person I've ever met as well. Like, I would meet people and they'd be like, oh, you know this guy? And I'd be like, yeah. And they go, oh, he's a piece of shit. You know that, right? That's how bad he was. And he was the biggest wrestling fan I've met outside of the other guy. And I'm like, why is there such an air around wrestling to where, because I think a lot of great things have came from wrestling. The Rock's career, uh, men in spandex,
Several Japanese
Us
wrestlers
moment.
are pretty heavy into the anime industry and tokusatsu industry.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Like JoJo was probably very heavily inspired, right? No?
Yeah, pretty much. A lot of that stuff.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
there's a lot of stuff that's like good about wrestling. It's just sometimes with it, as with any industry, it's like a 50-50 fucking shot whether or not like you're going to be dealing with somebody who's like really cool or really shitty. There is a really infamous or pretty infamous in the circles that like people who know about him, this dude named Shalak, who is a let's say hardcore wrestler.
Uh huh.
His whole thing is that it was like the long time joke about him was like, oh yeah, everybody's the kind of like the whispers about him was like, oh yeah, like if you ever see this dude at a show or at the road, don't hang with them. Shalak's a huge racist piece of shit.
Wow.
And it's like everyone's like, oh man, he seemed kind of cool. And the joke being like, oh yeah, dude, he's a hardcore wrestler with a Warhammer 40K face tattoo. At best, he's got some colorful opinions about Mexicans. And that's like the haha, oh yeah, that's true, that's true. He does seem like that does mark him as a huge piece of shit. But it later comes out like 4 or 5 years after I first hear the words, don't ever hang out with Shalak, he's a huge racist piece of shit. It comes out that he was a part of like one of those like Nazi skinhead hardcore
Jesus
punk bands
Christ.
for years. Like we're talking like '01 to '07. This dude's a part of this like huge fucking skinhead punk band scene. And
What?
then he became a wrestler and dropped off of that.
What the fuck?
What? What kind of music? What does that even sound like? Is that like
I would just assume it sounds like shit because I've
I
never fucking heard it before in my life. It's never passed before. It's never like
oh my god.
if you're like, it's not like it's Freddie Gibbs or whatever, and it's
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, this guy's kind of crummy, but his music is good. No,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
these
yeah.
guys are shitty and their music is shitty too.
Well, thinking about it, it'd probably be something grunge. And it'd probably be like, oh, I hate minorities. They're
Yeah, grindcore stuff, right? You know, like
They take my jobs.
God,
What
I love opioids.
the Dude, these people suck.
Step
What
on
the
my lawn
fuck?
or I'll shoot you in
Yeah,
the
but like it's a
Uh,
fucking land of awful contrast. Like there's really cool people,
yeah.
but
It also somehow has the ability to pull in the worst people known to man.
oh, the most nightmarish fuckers ever.
I
Like,
think I know why. I think I get it now. I connected the dots in this time of talking. Because it's violent.
yeah,
Yeah.
I would kind of agree with that. It's kind of the same thing with jujitsu as well.
Yeah,
Like
boxing.
anything
Boxing.
boxing, jujitsu, any of that shit. It's like it's not an actual combat sport, but like once you get to like the sort of adjacency that some combat sports get, it's like, you know,
Well,
it, it
it's
gets
like a
ubiquitous to a certain point.
it's like an accumulation of all the things they hold dear, right? Like masculinity and like
Bravado.
it's a big, yeah, big like culture of like basically only white guys, right? And then you got like
That's a lot
they
of
think they're anti-culture for saying shit that's already ingrained within culture, so they really like shit like punk or stuff like that. Like even though it doesn't make sense because they like
Because
are
punk,
for establishments.
yeah, punk is like very anti-establishment, and they're like, I want fascism to be the only form of government. Yeah. I don't know. Is Fat Mike, is he a piece of shit?
Um,
I know he doesn't like Nazis. So, I guess we're on the right track there.
I I think uh who was it? Hold on a second.
Also, hold on. While Maxie looks this up, I like that Riley drops the name like Freddie Gibbs, like a rapper name, and like you and I both listen to Freddie Gibbs, and it's just weird to think that we've never talked about how we listen to rap music together, but we both love rap music. Like we both listen to rap music.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll just never bring it up. Like the only thing,
It's never gonna come up ever.
like who's your favorite rap artist?
I would say Vince Staples.
Okay, we're
Yeah,
very
like-
similar. Yeah, okay.
I
Yeah.
think like Fat Mike got banned in the U.S. for saying like shit about gay people,
Ew.
but he was joking. Like I
Oh.
think that's what happened. Like I need to figure it out. But look, or they, I don't know, because like they fucking wear women's clothing now. Like and they just act like themselves how they usually act.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. Maybe he's done some weird shit with like female people. I don't know. I don't know the no. You know. But like even then, like I don't know. Let's see.
Oh, you mean like weird shit as in like he's maybe done some bad things to random women?
Maybe like I
Or
think
they've
off
done?
the top of my dome,
Pretty
off the top of my
heavy
dome,
thing.
they were like acting creepy, but they're just being themselves. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. Also they drink a lot, I believe.
Because he's like a crass individual.
I
So I
don't
think he probably said some weird shit in front of women.
yeah.
But does that really signify him being a bad, like them being a bad person? Probably not. But
Well.
they're effectively banned in America from what they've said.
Well, I know Tyler the Creator got banned in New Zealand for I don't even remember what. Just like also got banned somewhere else in Europe at one point.
Oh,
So-
they made a joke about the Las Vegas shooting.
Okay. All right. Hold on.
All right, this is okay. I'm not so certain now.
I
Yeah.
don't I'm not nuanced enough to make a comment on this.
Yeah. It's, I don't have anything for that. You know,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
I don't know what he said. Because if you made a joke about shootings, as in, like,
Oh, he said, yeah, that shooting sucked, but at least they were country fans and not punk rock fans.
okay,
Damn,
all right,
good fucking Christ.
all right.
Ah, fuck.
I mean, I'm not gonna.
I don't
I'm not
know.
gonna
I
agree
just,
with him. I'm not gonna agree. I would. Would I?
ah,
Would I have ever made that joke?
The
No.
timing was really bad.
Yeah.
that's not
Yeah.
something I would say.
Yeah. Would I make that joke? Absolutely not. Do I see where he was coming from? What he was trying to. He was trying to cook. He was trying to cook way too soon.
He was
He
like, yeah,
pulled
that
it out of the
cooking,
oven.
that was a, oh,
Also, like, there's so many
And
country.
they apologized afterwards and says it's a home to everything. We take safety in our festival goers seriously, and there's nothing funny about being shot and murdered.
Jesus Christ. I think that makes the joke even worse being that upfront. I would have liked the. I don't know. I would have liked the canned response
God,
more.
it's not good to be shot and killed.
We do not taking being shot and kill. Dude, we gotta end this because I'm gonna go off. It's way too easy.
7 different tangents later.
Yeah, it's
we gotta tap, you know.
yeah, it's way too easy to end up in the wrong place right now. So I'm gonna.
we're riding some really weird rails right now.
Yeah, yeah. I don't like this part of town. We gotta go back. This is not Chinatown. This is not the Chinatown I remember. And if nobody's offering me a fish, we gotta get out of here. All right. Well, that's it for this episode. I hope y'all enjoyed. Any closing remarks?
At least they were country fans, huh?
Oh my god. All right. All right. All right. What any closing remarks, Riley?
Riley Lesko Incorporated is not associated with any further remarks of Mr. Fact Mike or Mr. Smug Player. Thank you.
We
Good night.
do not condone killing innocent people.
Yeah, or making jokes about it exactly like 10 minutes after it happened. That's not funny either. Or making jokes about it at all, probably. Yeah, right?
Probably.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not trying to word police anybody here, but well, probably wasn't a good idea to say that. Okay. Goodbye.